All right, guys, welcome back. This is Arizona Elk Hunting 2024 Draw Application Strategy, Unit Breakdown, all that good stuff. We are talking about one of the most rugged and premium units today that Arizona has. That's Unit 27. Unit 27, I think most people that hunt Unit 27, whether you've hunted it before or you're a guide, I think we all have kind of a love-hate relationship with Unit 27. It has some of the biggest bulls ever and also some of the worst country to hike around in, and also some of the most brutal weather when it comes to late season that I've ever experienced in Arizona. So there's definitely a love-hate relationship with it. And as far as what we love about it, obviously goes without saying, these bulls are giant. Great elk populations, just fantastic hunting in Unit 27. And we have something very special that's happened in 27 this year that doesn't happen very often in Arizona, especially when you talk about tags and draws and all this kind of stuff. Unit 27 is offering a whole new hunt this year, which I'll get into later, and it's a rifle hunt. But let's just talk about 27 overall. Like I said, crazy rugged. It is some of the nastiest country that Arizona has to offer, some of the most remote country Arizona has to offer. You can get really, really away from people if you want to. You can take your horses back into crazy places. Obviously, you can hike back into crazy places. The country is just very vast. There's not a lot of population of people, and there's not a lot of roads. Overall, there's just not a lot of roads. So horse trails and hiking trails and bushwhacking, you really have some opportunities to get away from people in 27, but it comes with a cost, and that's your physical cost of getting and hiking into some of this nasty country. There is water in spots in 27 that will allow you to backpack hunt more so than in other areas in Arizona. So if you're a guy that likes to backpack hunt and kind of get into crazy spots and has done it in Colorado or Wyoming, 27 does have that opportunity to do that. It's probably not my first choice, just with overall elk populations, safety, and just logistics. I think you can be successful hunting in other forms, but that's it's all personal preference. I like hunting where the elk are, the bigger elk are. I'm not afraid to go into places where there's like zero people, but sometimes that zero people means there's not a lot of elk as well because of just the whole ranching factor. When you look into some of these wilderness areas, or in 27, the blue primitive area specifically, there is no roads. But guys, what that really means is that there's not a lot of water distributed artificially in those areas as well. So you're really relying on precipitation from just nature to provide water for animals. And in years that it's dry, there's not a lot of animals that are going to be back in those wilderness areas, and they're going to come to where the waters are, to come to where it's easier to live. So not always the case, but keep that in mind in wilderness areas in general. When you have wilderness areas, it means no humans are trucking in water or, creating irrigation lines or any of that. It all happens naturally. And so in Arizona, it's pretty darn dry. So some of these years, these elk are not going to be back in there as much as they would on a crazy rain year. So if you have a draw a tag and it is a crazy rain year, then I encourage you definitely take different routes, take roads less traveled, take trails that are, maybe not as easy to get to, because elk are probably going to be more spread out during those years. But that being said, guys, archery. So let's talk early archery. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's one of the best hunts that I've ever been a part of. As far as elk hunting in the rut with a bow, it's just phenomenal hunting in 27. There's rutting bulls everywhere. They're bugling. This is not a unit where you're hoping you'll hear a bugle. These elk are bugling. They're going to bugle. They're very healthy. Unit 27 is very high elevation. It looks very similar to other places that I've seen in Montana or Wyoming. It's all ponderosa pines until you drop elevation a couple thousand feet. Big meadows, big canyons, big mountains. It's just phenomenal elk hunting. Um, and so you're obviously going to have some people hunting. You're going to have some pressure. You're going to have some activity going around during the archery season, and you're going to have a lot of bonus points to for sure draw that to get you in the bonus point pass system. But it's worth it. You know, you're when you're in that position to have 20 plus points, you're really looking at Unit 9, Unit 10, Unit 1, Unit 27, Unit 23, Unit 3A, 3C, the big ones in Arizona. And Unit 27 is high trophy potential, but requires high physical ability as well. So unlike Unit 9 or 10 or 3A, 3C, it requires a lot of physical capability to be successful because the country is so rough and these bulls will rut really hard and rut chase these cows up these mountains. So keep that in mind. It is, you can obviously get away with road hunting in 27. You can get away with not hiking in the crazy mountains because these elk are in some of the flatter country as well, up in the northern section of 27, and they're in the meadows and things like that. But anytime you have that, you're going to have more hunting pressure because it's easier to access. So keep that in mind when you draw these or looking to draw this archery tag. It requires some physical ability and exertion. And then shifting gears, obviously they offer some early rifle, early muzzleloader stuff in 27 as well. Phenomenal hunt. I mean, you're throwing in your chips there with a bunch of points. And if you crazy get lucky on that tag, there's nothing else like it. But it's a tag that I would hope everybody that draws an early muzzleloader, early rifle tag talks to somebody, finds a way to make it happen, whether it's friends or just people you know, or if it's in your budget to have a guide or outfitter, is to really invest in your hunt, because those hunts are just so special, such a great opportunity to experience not only harvesting a trophy bull, but also just experiencing the rut during that time. So that's that. 27 is amazing. Be ready to put your boots on. Be ready to experience some nasty country. If you look on a map, it's very deceptive. It looks very friendly. It is not very friendly once you get there. They do have a late archery hunt. That can be difficult. Late archery is difficult. Even though I'm all about it, I love late archery hunts. I love them in 22 and 23 and 8, and some of these units that offer late archery hunts, 5A, I love it, but it's still a very difficult hunt. You got to chase these bulls with a bow, and they are pretty much bachelored up at that point in 27. So you're hoping for dry climate, lots of water hole based hunting, spot and stock. If you have some help, guide, outfitter, friend, buddy, whatever it is, that can help you sneak in on some of these bulls that they're bedded up. But late rifle, here we go. Here's the big announcement, the big reveal, if you will. They have decided to break up the late rifle hunt into 2 hunts this year. So typically it's been 450 tags, give or take, for the late rifle hunt every year. This year they're doing it in 250 tag allotments. And the early hunt, which is at the standard time, which all late rifle hunts are going on during that time, and then they offer a second hunt, a lot like 22 North does. During that week directly following the first rifle hunt, there's another hunt. This could be a great opportunity for you guys that have around the 10-point range. So you don't have the 18, 19 points, whatever it's going to take this year to draw 27 late rifle, but you're in that range. You're like, hey man, I got 8 to 12. Could be an opportunity where instead of doing a second tier type late rifle hunt, like a 7 West or Unit 8 or Unit 10, you put Unit 27 second hunt as your first choice, and then use your Unit 8, Unit 10, 6A, that as your second choice, because that's how you do it in Arizona. You put your first choice as the harder hunt to get drawn for statistically, and then your second hunt, because of how the draw happens, they run your first choice first, second choice second, and then they have a whole separate draw for your third, fourth, fifth, which doesn't matter if you're trying to draw a bull elk tag, because all the tags will be gone by then. So you're never going to get a bull tag on your third, fourth, or fifth choice in Arizona ever. But yeah, so it's a good option to maybe, if you're in that point range, because we don't have any historical data on this hunt. That's why it makes it interesting. We don't know if it's going to take 18 points to draw this tag too. We don't know. Or is it going to take 10? Could be something to roll the dice on, guys. Just saying, there's going to be big bulls in there. The weather is going to be hopefully good. It could be absolutely crazy. There's been years where the snowfall has all but shut down the entire unit and made it basically impossible to hunt. And there's years where you get a little bit of rain and all the bulls are running around and it's nice. So you're definitely running the risk hunting that second later hunt as to more snow or crazier, colder weather, but it's worth it because there's big bulls there. I think the last 2 or 3 years they killed the governors and state raffle tag or statewide tags out of 27. I mean, they've been killing these giant 4-something 50-inch bulls out of Unit 27 in that early season. These guys that buy the governor's tag or they draw that statewide tag, it's a phenomenal unit, grows big bulls. Where those bulls are killed is pretty remote stuff. They're killed in some of that lower country, which is hard to hunt if you're a dude that just wants to go hunting. So sticking to the northern half of 27 is better. I'm not just saying that. It's not like I go down there and I'm like trying to keep people away. There's no secret to where those bulls are killed, but it takes manpower. Takes 5 or 6 guys glassing for you, and just takes a lot of time to find those elk, which we don't have a lot of time in these 7-day hunts. So the eastern side of 27 is very remote, just for the most part. It is where all the wilderness area, and it's where all the primitive area and where all the horse trails are and exist. So if you guys are wanting to get in the backcountry and do it yourself back there, that's where you focus on. If you want a little bit more accessible stuff where you want to pull a trailer or camp out, truck hunt, day hunt, the western side is more your friend on that aspect. The bigger bull potential, I would call it even. Obviously, you're thinking, hey, with the primitive area and the wilderness stuff on the east side, there's probably bigger bulls there. Yes, you're correct. There are big bulls and potentially bigger bulls there. But what you have on the west side is access. But you have the X factor being the San Carlos Indian Reservation to the west, and then a little bit of the White Mountain Apache Reservation. So you kind of have that as your X factor because bulls do wander back and forth from the reservation into that area. So you're playing that game of, do you go crazy remote with less elk population potentially in the remote stuff on the east side, or you play the game of hopefully killing a big bull and maybe competing with people with some hunting pressure, that big bulls that are kind of hanging up in these canyons are coming across the Indian reservations and living their winter, spending their winter life during that time. So that's my rundown, guys. Big reveal. The second hunt that Arizona is doing this year is crazy. It's a great opportunity. It's a question mark as what it will take to draw, but I know it's going to be awesome. I know it's a fantastic place to hunt. It's just an awesome tag to draw. So good luck, guys. I wish you the best. And if you want any kind of information about guides or outfitters, drop camps, scouting packages, hit me up. I got my info in the description below, and I can't wait to help you guys. Hit me up with some comments. And again, good luck. Hopefully you guys go draw a tag, kill a big bull. Talk to you later.